May 15th through June 15th, it's Tourette's Syndrome Awareness Month. But as you probably already know, Tourette's is characterized by involuntary movements or motor tics and sounds or verbal tics. That's true of the woman we're here with now, Jess Thom, who's gonna tell us about her organization, Touretteshero, and the show she's starring in right here at the BRIC House tonight and tomorrow. That's tonight and tomorrow night, called Touretteshero, Backstage in Biscuit Land. Now, Jess wants you to know, by the way, that if she lets out a curse or two, it's not something she or we can control. Jess Thom, welcome to BK Live.
Hi, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Cat, Biscuit.
So it's your big BRIC House debut tonight and tomorrow. We're super excited.
First time showing Backstage in Biscuit Land in New York, and really excited to be here at BRIC and in Brooklyn. Biscuit, Cat.
Thank you.
That's great, since our viewers are already hearing it.
Biscuit.
You repeat it. Can you explain Biscuit? The producers brought out some biscuits, and they want you to explain.
Biscuit. Well, Biscuit is one of my regular vocal tics. Biscuit. So I say it hundreds and hundreds of times a day. Biscuit. Biscuit. Biscuit in the UK. Biscuit means cookie. Hedgehog. Biscuit. But it's really exciting to see a different type of biscuit for the first time. Hedgehog. Biscuit. But anything I've ever known has the potential to become a tic. Biscuit. So, and why certain words stick around is a mystery. Biscuit. So I have no idea. Biscuit. Why Biscuit out of everything else? But Hedgehog and Hedgehog too. Cat. Aladdin. Biscuit.
Very cool. So you've taken ownership of it, obviously, and made it the title of the show. So what is going to be in the show?
Biscuit. So the show is a celebration of spontaneity, disability, Biscuit, disability culture, things that you never knew would make you laugh. Biscuit. Biscuit, having Tourette's means that I'm neurologically incapable of staying on script. So every show is different, and we play with that and we allow space for that. Biscuit, it also tells a story about theatre itself, Biscuit, and I had some difficult experiences accessing live performance. And
just going to a show.
Biscuit, going to a show, and Biscuit, I was asked to move to a sound booth during a show about segregation because of the noises I was making. Biscuit, and that was a really humiliating and upsetting experience, Biscuit, and I promised myself as I was crying in the sound booth, Biscuit, that I would never go to the theatre again. Biscuit, but it's not a promise I kept. Biscuit. And instead I decided to take to the one seat in the house that I wouldn't be asked to leave. So the stage.
That's great.
Oh, I'm like, what seat is that?
Biscuit. And make a show that celebrated Tourette syndrome. Biscuit. That challenged lots of the myths about the condition and encouraged people to realise that making theatre, making art inclusive makes it better. Biscuit.
That's great. What are some of people's common misconceptions about Tourette's syndrome?
Well, the swearing one. Fuck a sheep. Biscuit, yeah. So lots of people associate Tourette's with swearing. Biscuit, but in fact, only 10% of people with the condition have obscene tics. Biscuit, I am one of them. Fuck a duck. Biscuit, but even so, I'm as likely to talk about, Biscuit, domestic appliances or dinosaurs as I am to swear. Ta-da!
So you talked about your experience that led you to taking the only seat in the house that you can't be kicked out of. Biscuit. So this is going to be what is called a relax show when you perform at BRIC House. Explain that to us.
So relaxed performance is a movement within UK theatre, Biscuit, which offers a warm welcome to people who might not be able to follow the usual conventions of theatre etiquette. So that can include people with autism, people with learning disability, people with Tourette's, Biscuit, but also people who maybe have babies or people who just have a really loud laugh, Biscuit. But that permission to relax and respond naturally is given to the whole audience, Biscuit, Biscuit, and so everybody benefits. And Biscuit, I think that means that the theatre experience is more interesting and dynamic for everybody as a result. Biscuit.
So people can see how the Tourette's syndrome affects you on the exterior. How can you explain how you feel on the inside with Tourette's syndrome?
Cats, Biscuit, that's really interesting. Biscuit, a hedgehog, Biscuit, fat Biscuit. I think what lots of people don't realise about tics is that there's a sensation attached to them. So tics feel uncomfortable. Biscuit, Biscuit. I often explain it to children as like the sensation of trying not to blink. Biscuit, Biscuit, hedgehog, and it's similar. You can perhaps hold tics in for short periods of time, but doing so takes loads of concentration Biscuit, and is sort of physically painful. Biscuit. So Biscuit, hedgehog, cats, I find that it's much better to let ticks out, be open about them, Biscuit, and communicate to other people and make sure people know what to expect, Biscuit, and feel free to ask questions if they're unsure rather than Biscuit making assumptions. Biscuit.
How long have you been a
Biscuit.
comedian, and what was your career trajectory like becoming comfortable with
Biscuit.
performing in front of people?
Hedgehog, Biscuit. Well, I haven't always felt comfortable talking about Tourette's. Biscuit, I've had tics since I was a child, Biscuit, but they intensified, Biscuit, in my early 20s and began to have a much bigger impact on my life. And I found that really difficult, Biscuit, and I tried to ignore them, I tried to hide them, Biscuit, but that made me unhappy and meant that I was letting the fear of other people's reactions and fear of myself create a barrier in my life. And Biscuit was restricting what I did as a result, Biscuit. And so I had a conversation with a friend, Biscuit, with Matthew, who's the co-founder of Touretteshero, Biscuit, and he described my Tourette's as a crazy language generating machine, Biscuit, and he told me that not doing something, Biscuit, creative with it would be wasteful. And that idea really took root for me and transformed how I thought about my life and my condition, and Biscuit, and it was the starting point, Biscuit, for Touretteshero, and it's how I came to understand that Tourette's was my power and not my problem. Biscuit.
So
Cats.
you've written
Biscuit.
books, given TED Talks,
Biscuit.
been a
Hedgehog.
TV presenter,
Hedgehog.
all these things. I wonder
Biscuit.
what you think about the portrayal of Tourette's in the popular media
Hedgehog. Biscuit.
and how Tourette's hero is changing that stuff.
Biscuit, I think there's an issue, Biscuit, certainly within the UK, and I don't know, Biscuit, how it is here in the States, Biscuit, but representation of difference in the media is really, Biscuit, the world of TV and film, Biscuit, doesn't necessarily represent the real world, Biscuit, and particularly disabled people are often not visible on telly, Biscuit, Biscuit, in a way that they should. So I think people feel uncomfortable about difference because they don't see it or experience it in the world around them. So for me, having increased visibility of disabled people in theatres, in cultural spaces, Biscuit, on TV, in film, Biscuit, and having diverse voices visible is really important to helping break down barriers about people being frightened of things that they don't know or experience. And for me, Biscuit, other people's responses can be really unpredictable, and some people are amazingly supportive, and Biscuit, and some people do react, Biscuit, more with fear or with lack of understanding, Biscuit. But I think by talking about it, by being open and doing that with humour and creativity, they're really powerful tools for bringing people together. Biscuit.
And do you find
Hedgehog,
that
Biscuit.
makes you more accepting of people's behaviors and reactions
Biscuit, Hedgehog,
to
Biscuit.
performing and, just all the work you've done with Tourette's?
Biscuit, I hope that Tourette's has made me, my experiences living with Tourette's has made me more empathetic and thoughtful, Biscuit, and I'm also very passionate about inclusivity, Biscuit, and Biscuit being ready to consider difference in how we set things up, Biscuit. So within our show, Biscuit, we also have built-in audio description, which means, Biscuit, we describe what's happening on stage so that if you can't see it, Biscuit, exactly, you can, Biscuit, and we in the Biscuit, we often work with British Biscuit, with sign language interpreters, Biscuit, which Biscuit is adds a whole new dimension to the show, Biscuit, because my tics go off on all very unusual tangents, and they get drawn into that, which makes it more exciting.
We're here with Jess Thom. She's
Hedgehog,
performing
Biscuit.
in the ballroom this weekend, all the way from Britain. Excuse me. What is one experience that maybe sticks out to you
Hedgehog.
of a crazy way somebody's dealt with your Tourette's?
Hedgehog, Biscuit, Biscuit. So, Biscuit, there's lots. Some of them have been quite challenging. Biscuit, I've been filmed on people's phones, or people have responded negatively. Biscuit, Biscuit, and I've had amazing experiences, particularly where, Biscuit, I remember an experience on a bus in London where a group of young people, Biscuit, were talking about me and laughing, and then I heard one voice say, Biscuit, turn round to his friends and say, Biscuit, imagine if it was your mum or your sister. And Biscuit, and that's the bit where I stepped in and said thank you to him and said that he was incredibly strong for speaking out in front of his friends. So I think I've experienced that support from complete strangers, and I feel very lucky to have had that. Biscuit.
So as a performer then, I wonder what it's like for you performing when maybe you are in front of an audience of people who have Tourette's, like at a relaxed performance. What's that like from your view as a performer?
Biscuit. Well, it can go in very unusual directions because tics are quite suggestible. So, Biscuit, one person's tics can trigger somebody else's. So, Biscuit. But I also perform with an amazing performer and puppeteer called Jess Jones. And her role is to help keep us on track. So she's really great if I'm getting distracted by lampposts. I love lampposts. Cats are Biscuit. Cats are better at Spanish than thinking about teeth. So yeah, to stop me getting distracted by things like that, Biscuit, she helps us keep on track. But it's really interesting what happens when there are other people's tics in the room. But Biscuit, it's an inclusive atmosphere that we aim to create. Biscuit.
I understand that you say it's an arbitrary condition, sort of, but you say when you focus in on certain things, like for example, biscuits. Do you love biscuits? Is that why you can say it up to 16,000 times a day?
Biscuit, no, I have no strong feelings about biscuits. I don't mind biscuits.
Cool.
I mean, I don't mind the UK biscuit. I haven't tried the other biscuits.
These are American biscuits. We're hearing that you're seeing them for the first time. The producers brought them in.
Biscuit.
Yeah, you could take them with you.
Yeah.
They're delicious.
Hedgehog biscuits.
Brian just had some, it looks
biscuit.
like. Yeah.
Hedgehog biscuit. Yeah, no strong feelings about biscuits. No bad experiences with hedgehogs. Biscuit. And I say I love cats a lot. People often tell me then about their cats. I don't actually
You hate
like
cats. It's a BK Live exclusive. Jess Thom hates cats.
It's out of the bag now.
The cat's out of the bag.
Don't tell me about cats.
When the cameras are off, I can tell you about an experience I had with a hedgehog one day. But in getting ready and going on your website, I was thinking about all the people through history who may have had Tourette's or some other neurological condition, and it just wasn't diagnosed, and historical figures and all the people, and how you're sort of turning that on your head by bringing awareness to Tourette's.
Biscuit. I think it's really important to have increased understanding and knowledge about different types of condition. Biscuit.
Yeah.
I knew I had Tourette's long before I think I got a formal diagnosis, because I wasn't diagnosed till I was an adult. Biscuit. And there was a long time where I thought I didn't see what it would add to my life. I thought, I've lived this long without it. I don't need to know what it is. Biscuit. Yeah. But actually having a diagnosis and having a way of explaining it to other people, Biscuit, and at last, Biscuit, being able to begin to understand something that had always been a big part of my life, made a powerful difference. And I think it's really interesting to be able to think, to share that message with other people. Biscuit.
Jess Thom,
Biscuit. Cats.
British comedian. What can you tell us about your alter ego Tourette's hero?
Biscuit. Well, Tourette's hero is Biscuit. Aladdin. No, not Aladdin. Biscuit. Tourette's hero is fun, playful, Biscuit, unpredictable, spontaneous. Biscuit, a talisman of tortoises, potentially. A salad dressing lover, a trigonometry teacher, Biscuit, and 14% more likely to think about Justin Bieber than baths.
Backstage in Biscuit Land is the show that you're performing here in the ballroom. What can people expect from the performances?
Biscuit, they can expect biscuits, and they will get cookies. Biscuit, they can expect laughter, they can expect chat about disability, about spontaneity, about geraniums. Ta-da! I hate geraniums. Biscuit, they can expect it to be a fun time, I hope. And they'll definitely get a biscuit. Cats.
Well, thank you very much for being here with us. We're looking forward to the performances in the ballroom. Jess Thom, thank you very much for coming all the way to the UK, for being on BK Live here.
Thank you for having me. It's brilliant.
Of course, thank you. It's a pleasure.
Maybe we should do the show from London, then you can show us around.
Yeah.
BK Live. Let's go to London and hook up with Jess. All right.
Thursday and Friday night. That's tonight and tomorrow in the BRIC House Ballroom. It's a relaxed performance. Come down.
Come on down. 647 Fulton Street. You know where we are. See you, Jess. Thank you.
Biscuit. Thank you.